Hello everyone, welcome to a new vlog of the Uttar Pradesh series. This video is going to be about our visit to Gaya for the third and final set of ancestral rituals to be completed, and later we go back to BodhGaya for local sightseeing before proceeding back to Varanasi. Our first place of visit at Gaya is the famous Mangala Gowri Temple. Mangala Gowri Temple, built in the 15th century, is counted among the 51 Mahashaktipitas dedicated to Goddess Sati, where the body parts of Goddess Sati fell. This temple constitutes an Upashaktipita. Here, Shakti is worshipped in the form of a breast, which is a symbol of nourishment. According to various Puranas and traditions, there are 51 pieces of Goddess Sati's body scattered across the Indian subcontinent. These places are called Shaktipitas and are dedicated to various powerful goddesses. The body was separated part by part. Lord Shiva passed through this place on his way back to Kailash with the dead body of Sati, whose breast fell at this spot where the modern temple of Mangala Gowri stands. The mother, sitting on the hill, is considered to be the goddess of benevolence. It is believed that whoever comes to Ma Durga with his wishes and prayers returns successfully, with all prayers and wishes coming true.
ये कौन सा टेम्पल है? ये तो दुर्गा देवी का। दुर्गा देवी, अच्छा अच्छा।
The main sanctum of the temple is quite small and only 10 to 12 members can be accommodated inside. We had a very good darshan in about 20 minutes as we had reached the temple by around 6:30 or 7 am on a Thursday, so it was not crowded. Various forms of Lord Shiva, Durga, Goddess Dakshina Kali, Mahishasura Mardini and Goddess Sati can be seen in the Mangala Gowri Temple. Lakhs of devotees come to Mangala Gowri Temple in the month of Navaratri to have a darshan of Mata, which makes the view here captivating. Karnataka Bhavan is the place we chose for performing our ancestral rituals, as it is one of the very few places for South Indians to perform these rituals at Gaya. The priest, Sri Pavanachar, was from coastal Karnataka and spoke our languages Kannada and Tulu very fluently. The place is pretty spacious and clean. The only issue one could face is that the rooms are available in the second floor, so it can be slightly difficult for elderly people to climb the steps. You get coffee and breakfast upon prior intimation and good sattvic food for lunch, which needs to be paid for separately. Gaya has a strong, rich history, let it be ancient, middle or modern. Particularly for the Hindus, Gaya is the land of salvation. Gaya derives its name from the mythological demon Gayasur. To bring salvation to departed souls, Pinddan is a mandatory thing for all Hindus and Hinduism followers. It is believed that no work can be successfully performed without the blessing of our ancestors, and performing of Pinddan brings the blessings of the forefathers. The performing of Pinddan as per the specific rituals at Gaya, Haridwar, Badrinath, Varanasi, Prayagraj are considered as auspicious. Gaya, being on the top of the list, has much significance when it comes to Pinddan. The Pind Dan at Gaya needs to be performed at three holy spots: the Falgu River, the Vishnu Pad Temple, and the Akshay Vat tree. Gaya finds mention in the great epics Ramayana and Mahabharata. As per Ramayana, Lord Rama visited Gaya around 8,000 years ago during Treta Yuga to offer Pind Dan for his father Dasharatha. In Mahabharata, the place has been identified as Gaya Puri. Apart from this, spiritual texts like Padma Puran, Garuda Puran and Sri Bhagavad Gita also shows the importance of Gaya Shraddha or Pind Dan. The Vishnu Pad Temple is the center for Shraddha rites in Gaya. This temple, which means the temple of Vishnu's feet, is one of the ancient and most famous Hindu temples dedicated to Lord Vishnu. The temple is located in Gaya on the banks of the river Falgu, marked by a footprint of Lord Vishnu known as Dharmashila, incised into a block of basalt. It is believed that this footprint happened when Lord Vishnu kept his right foot on the chest of the demon Gayasur. Do read through the interesting story of Gayasur from any of the websites. The construction date of this temple is unknown, and it is believed that Rama along with Sita had visited this place. The present day structure was rebuilt by Devi Ahilya Bai Holkar, the ruler of Indore, in 1787 on the banks of the Falgu River. We are now returning to Bodh Gaya for local sightseeing before proceeding back towards Varanasi. Bodh Gaya, which is a home to a holy place for Buddhists, has beautiful monasteries and temples. You will see pictures and videos of some of these temples and monasteries that we visited in this short duration. The Metta Buddharam Temple is a Thai temple situated at Bodh Gaya. The temple has an attractive architecture with a white statue of Buddha sitting in the open air in Padmasana posture with a silver pagoda at the back. When we visited Bodh Gaya, the entry to the temple was closed and hence visitors could only view the temple from outside. The locals call it the Silver Temple or White Temple because it is totally white. The Mahabodhi Mahavira Temple or the Mahabodhi Temple, which literally translates to the Great Awakening Temple, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is an ancient but much rebuilt and restored Buddhist temple in Bodh Gaya, marking the location where the Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment. Traditional accounts say that around 589 before Common Era, Siddhartha Gautama, a young prince who saw the suffering of the world and wanted to end it, reached the forested banks of the Falgu river near the city of Gaya at Bihar. There he sat in meditation under a peepal tree which later became known as the Bodhi tree. According to Buddhist scriptures, after 3 days and 3 nights, Siddhartha attained enlightenment and the answers that he had sought. In that location, Mahabodhi Temple was built by Emperor Ashoka in around 260 BCE. The Bodhi tree at Bodh Gaya is directly connected to the life of the Buddha who attained enlightenment or perfect insight when he was meditating under it. The temple was built directly to the east of the Bodhi tree, supposedly a direct descendant of the original Bodhi tree. The Buddha then spent the succeeding 7 weeks at 7 different spots in the vicinity, meditating and considering his experience. Several specific places at the current Mahabodhi temple relate to the traditions surrounding these 7 weeks. It is therefore good to take a guide along who will show you these specific 7 places of importance inside the Mahabodhi temple. We also hired a guide who helped us understand the significance of these 7 specific places. There are temples or monasteries built by Buddhist countries like Sri Lanka, Burma, Tibet, Vietnam, Bhutan, Japan, Thailand, and China. Each of them carries the characteristics of the architecture of their homeland. These temples have some of the most elaborate paintings on its walls. The well-coordinated bright colors make the place serene and vibrant at the same time. Most of these places are very tastefully done, have colorful and cheerful exteriors and elaborately painted interiors. Most paintings depict the life events of Buddha or the journey of the spread of Buddhism in their respective countries. I wish I had more time to sit and understand the individual stories. The Great Buddha statue is one of the popular stops on the Buddhist pilgrimage and tourist routes in Bodh Gaya. The statue is 64 feet high, representing the Buddha seated in a meditation pose or dhyana mudra on a lotus in the open air. The foundation stone for the statue was laid in 1982 and was designed by V. Ganapati Sthapati and took 7 years to complete using the labor of 12,000 stone masons. The Great Buddha statue is located in a garden at the end of the temple street and is surrounded by smaller sculptures of Buddha's 10 principal disciples, 5 on each side. The Great Buddha was possibly the largest Buddha statue in India at the time and was consecrated on 18th November 1989 by the 14th Dalai Lama. The Karma Tarji Chokurling Kagyipa Vajrayana Monastery is a Tibetan Buddhist monastery. The name is so long. While it mainly serves the Vajrayana sect of Buddhism, An extremely colorful yet calm and serene temple. Just like the other monasteries, this temple also had some of the most elaborate paintings on its walls. It looked very colorful both from the inside and the outside. We are now driving back to Varanasi, that is going to take about 5 hours by road for a distance of about 250 kilometers.